Hey guys, Joe here. We spend so much money on these big glide baits. Like this is a depth side swimmer 250. This bait is not inexpensive. It costs a lot of money. Then if you upgrade the split rings, the trebles, you can end up spending a lot of money. But one thing that is often overlooked is what snap to use on your big glide baits. So we're gonna dive into my recommendation from BKK coming up next in our deep dive.
Two-time NPFL champ, SaveMore Outdoors pro from Sapulpa, Oklahoma. Put your hands together for the hookup, John Soka.
Hey guys, Joe here from the Outer Realm, and today we're going to do a deep dive into what is, in my opinion, the #1 snap on the market. Now, I utilize snaps probably more than most people. There are a lot of people that use snaps to change from one crankbait to another really quickly. When I put a snap on a bait, especially with these BKKs, mine live on that bait permanently. You'll see right here on my depths 250, I've got a #2 FCL Snap-31 that permanently lives on this bait. All right, and the reason is I don't want to weaken that snap by opening in it 10, 15, 20 times. Okay, I want that thing to be as strong as possible and have a long shelf life. The reason I use this style, this egg snap style on my glide baits and all of my hard baits pretty much, is because that egg snap hooks on the inside. When we look at these, you'll notice that it loops around the outside of the egg loop and hooks on the inside. That allows this thing to be as weedless as possible. You're not getting algae or any grass stuck to that snap, okay? It also makes it incredibly strong. When I'm fishing this thing on 25-pound test trilene big game, or maybe some 22-pound fluoro, depending on what rod I have it set up on, I'm putting a lot of pressure right there at the front of the bait. And when those fish jump and shake their head, they're putting a lot of pressure right there where we tie onto the bait, because it can be far away from their face and they get a lot of leverage. And we can bend snaps of lesser quality. But that's why I choose these FCL 31s from BKK. They're super strong, and they allow this bait to be presented really properly. This thing will slide side to side really well, because that snap allows the bait to have its natural cadence. It doesn't kind of pull that bait in an unnatural darting action. It allows it to swim freely. And that's what we want. Then we just need the strength from BKK's tempering process to help get them in the boat. So for my big baits, my 6 to 10 inch glides, I'm using a #2. BKK has a higher strength rating than pretty much any brand for the size that these snaps come in. So even like a #0, let me toss this to the side for a second. Even like a #0 that I have on my Nishine, that still will hold. Let's look, I brought zeros on purpose. 53 pounds. All right, we're gonna show you a close up at the same time. You're gonna see that tiny little snap, 53 pounds, okay? I don't think you get 53 pounds out of a 0 in any other brand, okay? So, my normal size crankbaits, my square bills, all the way to like a 3XD, I'm running a 0. When I get to like a 6XD or an 8XD, I run a #1, okay? And then my glide baits, I run a #2. Now, or I'm sorry, I did that wrong. My small ones, I'm running a 00. This is a 00 on the Nishine. I run a 0 on my bigger cranks, okay? So that's where you get your 53 pounds, okay? is on my 8XD, my 6XD, and my 10XD. My 10XDs I do. I also run a 0 on them, okay? So my bigger kind of blown out, my big cranks, my Texas cranks I like to call them, those, that box is all size 0s, okay? So we'll kind of show you these sizes in some close-ups, or we already did while you guys were watching. Michelle and I will go back and film them here in a second and splice them into the video for you. But that way, you can kind of help gauge what size snap you should be buying for your cranks at home. And that just allows them to be presented a little bit more naturally. It gives them just a little more wobble. And again, you'll notice all these, you can see where I cut them off from my line the last time I used them, okay? So they live there permanently, and that helps them stay as strong as humanly possible. Thanks for checking us out, guys. We'll give you some other little tidbits as the summer rolls on, but that's my big one. Use a good snap. Use the BKK FCL. All right, I'm holding the back of the package up. We'll see you guys out on the water soon. Peace. Those were fun.